was he on about? My body, mister, come figure it out with the Sonnet sisters. Neighbours, Godspeed. Welcome to this official episode number 2 of Sonnet Sisters. And in this section today I'm going to be doing my blind reading of sonnet number 2. When 40 winters shall besiege thy brow, and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field, thy youth's proud livery, so gazed on now, will be a tattered weed of small worth held. Then being asked where all thy beauty lies, where all the treasure of thy lusty days, to say within thine own deep sunken eyes, were an all-eating shame and thriftless praise. How much more praise deserved thy beauty's use, if thou couldst answer, this fair child of mine shall sum my count, and make my old excuse, proving his beauty by succession thine. This were to be new made when thou art old, and see thy blood warm when thou feel'st it cold. Oh. That's got quite a chill to it, that one. Cool. Alright. Given the bit of context we know about why these first 17 sonnets were written and what the sonnet from week 1 was kind of getting at, this is digging into the same theme. So it's very clearly sort of saying, when you get old and wrinkly, wouldn't you like to have a younger version of you to carry on your youth? That is an awful paraphrasing, but that's what I say. So I'm going to go through this line by line, saying what I think each line means, just to kind of dig a tiny bit deeper. So when 40 winters shall besiege thy brow, when you're 40 years older than you are now, and he was about 17, I think. Yeah, he was 17, because 17 sonnets written for his 17th birthday. In 40 years from now, when there's been 40 winters that have gone past, besiege thy brow, when 40 years have attacked your forehead, and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field. So besiege and trenches, there's a lot of sort of battle imagery going on here. Or you could see it as farming trenches in a field, but I definitely see it as, especially because of the word besiege, it feels very violent. And dig deep trenches in those beauty's field. So, and make big wrinkles in your beautiful face, calling his forehead a field. Thy youth's proud livery, so gazed on now. I should know what livery means. I don't right now. I'll save that for the analysis section. So gazed on now. I guess it kind of means your abundance of beauty. Because you're young, you still look really great, and everyone loves looking at you. Will be a tattered weed of small worth held. So I think livery is kind of like a purse, or something to do with money anyway. I guess that's where, like in the French they say livre to mean pound. Will be a tattered weed of small worth held. So yeah, it will mean nothing. Your beauty is worth a lot now because it's so great, but in 40 years' time it's going to be worth nothing. Then being asked where all thy beauty lies, then when someone says, where's your beauty gone? What happened? Where all the treasure of thy lusty days, yeah, again, just continuing that theme. Where's the golden nugget of your youth and your lust? To say within thine own deep sunken eyes. So I guess this is the answer. So then being asked where all thy beauty lies, where all the treasure of thy lusty days. To say within thine own deep sunken eyes. So if you reply from your, again, old, deep sunken, so they've sort of retracted a bit, they're not as bright. From thine own deep sunken eyes, were an all-eating shame and thriftless praise. It won't mean anything. You didn't hang on to you didn't look after your beauty, or you didn't do anything to save it. An all-eating shame. I mean, that is harsh. It's saying when you get old, if you don't do anything about it, you'll regret not having children. He hasn't said not having children yet, but he's sort of getting to, he's saying you're going to regret not saving up for the future in terms of beauty and youth. How much more praise deserved thy beauty's use, yeah, you'd get a lot more praise, you'd get a lot more, not necessarily respect, but yeah, you'd get more positivity your way for your beauty and how you've used your beauty, more to the point. If thou couldst answer, this fair child of mine. So if you could say, oh, this kid, my child, this is where my beauty lies, shall sum my count and make my old excuse. So if you were able to say that you had a child, a fair child, fair at this time meaning beautiful, not necessarily blonde, this fair child of mine shall sum my count and make my old excuse. So yeah, if you were able to say that this child, this is what I've done with my beauty. Someone says, where's your beauty? And you point at your child and go, there it is. Look at that kid. That came from me. And look how young and pretty it is. I'm old. It happens. But now that kid looks great because of me. Wouldn't it be great if it turned out I was related to Shakespeare? It's not going to happen, is it? Not when I say stuff like that. Proving his beauty by succession thine. So proving that your child's beauty is also yours. So you still have beauty, but it's just kind of, it's gone down the line in the succession. You, and then down to your child. But you'd be able to say that it still exists and it still shines and it's right there in your child. Now on to the rhyming couplet. This were to be new made when thou art old. So this is like giving you a rebirth when you get old. Your beauty and everything that you had before can be brought to life again when you're old. And see thy blood warm when thou feelst it cold. So your blood is going cold and you're on your way out. You're gonna die. But at least this little version of you has got nice warm blood. So it's like when you feel like you're dying, there's a part of you that's just coming to life or that is still alive and has a lot of years ahead of it. In a nutshell, I would sum this up by saying, when you get old and ugly and no one wants to look at your ugly mug because you're not pretty anymore, because you're really proud of yourself right now, you're a bit vain, wouldn't it be great to be able to have a child that's still, that you could live through, that carries on not just not your name, but that carries on your face, essentially, that carries on your youth, so that a part of you never dies. That's kind of what I get from that. But anyway, we will go into it in more detail in the analysis section. Bye for now.